Hey y'all, welcome to the Trash Puppy channel. This channel is all about financial investments, cryptocurrency, and a little conspiracy theory. If you like my content, please hit that subscribe button. Today's video is the fourth one in our series about Tonix Pharmaceutical, ticker symbol TNXP. Before we get to the financials and all of the risks associated with Tonix Pharmaceutical, a little housekeeping. This video is for educational and research purposes only. It is not investment advice. I want to talk about what I have on the background here. There's Warren Buffett, Alexandra Hamilton, and Dr. Seth Lederman, the leader of Tonix Pharma. And what do these three men have in common? They all are famous alums of Columbia University in New York. So he's in good company. There's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and greed associated with Tonix Pharmaceutical. Seth Lederman, I don't know. However, I do not believe he's purposely trying to drive the price of the stock down. In fact, it's the opposite. It is his job to drive value for the shareholders of Tonix Pharma, myself included. I currently hold 300,000 shares bought at 38 cents. So I have an investment of over $100,000. So believe me, it matters to all of us. Now, let's talk about Tonix Pharmaceutical. Currently trading after hours at 33 cents, down close to 50% from 60 cents, which was just 5 days ago. There's a lot of volatility with this company. This is why we invest in it, because we enjoy the ride. Make sure you strap on your seatbelts and hold on to your seats, because these are the type of swings you'll see with Tonix Pharmaceutical. What does Tonix Pharma do? They produce a drug that treats fibromyalgia, which is a 10 million US adult addressable market. This particular drug is in the late stages of FDA final approval, with the potential to go to market late 2025. It will be the first of its kind. It will help a lot of people, Lady Gaga and Morgan Freeman. A lot of potential around this company, the fibromyalgia drug. I want to do a little technical analysis with my viewers today. I usually don't like to look at charts. I feel it's useful to just dig deeper into what the trends are telling us. I have up the 6-month chart for Tonix Pharma from the months of September through December. The price hovered around 15 cents and didn't move that much until there were news around the acceptance into FDA approval. Then you saw a pop, and then there was profit sharing. There was more positive news around the company, and that helped drive the prices up to 60 cents, which was an entry point the last time for a lot of y'all, right? 30 cents is the base that's currently building. It's going back to the volume versus closing price for the last few months. During the period when the price hovered around 15 cents, the volume was just as depressed. There wasn't a lot of transactions, shares changing hands. With news building up to the FDA acceptance of the drug possibly going to market in 2025, you really see a huge interest from investors and a spike in price as well. That's not a coincidence. What's at play here is, as much as we like to believe it is a perfect market, meaning all of the information are available to all investors, that's simply not the truth. There are always insiders. Insiders knew that the stock would pop because of the news acceptance into FDA approval. You see that. Another chart I like to check is the short volume. Short volume means there are a lot of sharks out there. Wall Street sharks looking for this particular company's price to drop. And selling high and buying low. So that's not a good indication for the company when they have high short volume. All of the short volume happened when? Right before the big news. Now, it's very flat. This is why I anticipate this particular stock to continue to stay and hover 30 cents. This is your entry point. Let's talk about the stock delisting. There were a lot of comments in the Reddit forums about the stock reversal, the delisting of TNXP, and share dilution. I'm going to address all three of those concerns right here on the Trash Puppy channel. Hit the subscribe button. Now stay with me. The stock reversal. What is a stock reversal? A stock reversal is when a company like Tonix Pharmaceutical trades below $1 on the NASDAQ. Trading below the dollar puts you at risk for delisting. What happens at delisting? That means this stock will no longer be traded on the NASDAQ, and instead it will go to the OTC market, which is the secondary market. It's not prime anymore. Now you're at secondary mystery meat, not sure where that state comes from. So Tonix Pharma wants to avoid the delisting because it would damage their credibility and ability to borrow more money. To avoid the delisting of the stock, they have to keep the price above the dollar. Right now, you can see it's hovering at 30 cents with high side of 67 cents, 70 cents. That's still 30% off of $1. They must do a stock reversal. This news was already built into the price in September. And they even stated in their filing 14A. The 14A is exactly stock reversal. It describes why they are looking for a stock reversal. It is to prevent delisting. What does it mean for your shares? I am going to just talk about my shares and do the math for y'all. Because I like math. Who doesn't like math? Math, everything is math. Right? I have 300,000 shares at 38 cents. That makes my position $114,000 USD. With a 1-for-25 stock split, it would bring the number of shares I own to only 12,000. It will mean that if the stock trades at 38 cents, after the reversal, it should trade at $9.50. This is where a bunch of people lost money, right? Now the stock goes from $9.50 down to 30 cents. I only own 12,000 shares at 30 cents. I'm fucked. That's the downside risk. I don't believe that will happen. I'm looking not only at the possibility of a first of its kind fibromyalgia drug, looking at their financials. I see a lot of expenses in 2024 was due to an asset impairment charge. And this piqued my interest. What asset impairment charge is they had an asset. In this case, it was a property, and they had to write it off because they're no longer using these labs. So as part of this write-off, they had to take a loss of $60 million. That's a one-time charge. I believe there were rumors of this particular asset being sold. That would be great because that would bring more revenue for the company. And let's talk about the revenue. In the 9 months ended September 30th versus a year ago, they've doubled their revenue. My anticipations are, you heard it on the Trash Puppy channel here first. I'm anticipating $14 million in revenue for Tonix Pharmaceutical in 2024. That's $12 million in products, along with $2 or $3 million in grant income from their $34 million federal contract. Those are my bullish sentiments on the company. Their expenses were high due to an impairment charge, and they doubled their revenue. So that should increase their EBITDA. Let's dig a little deeper. Let's look at their liability. They're continuing to reduce debt. When a company attempts to reduce their liabilities, it's because they need to borrow more money. They need more cash, and they have to show that they have the ability to pay back their liabilities. You'll see that, yes, their asset decreased $60 million year over year. Their liabilities also decreased by, most of that is paying off their Series C and Series D liabilities in the space. The initial funding rounds, those shares are the most valuable to the founder. As founders, we hate feeling like slaves. Those warrant liabilities are the chain and ball of the CEO. You heard it on Trash Puppy channel first. So the fact that they were able to take those down means they're going to dilute the shares because their financials are so strong. I do not anticipate a huge drop in their price. A lot of uncertainty around this. Investors asking themselves, well, if this drug doesn't make it to market. Well, Tonix Pharma is well diversified. They have a lot of different pipelines, a lot of different areas. They all have a product in the late phases of development to treat drug intoxication overdose. This is showing very promising results in the trial phases. This is the Trash Puppy channel where the stars meet the stops. Dr. Seth Lederman is in great company with several famous money OGs, including Warren Buffett, the GOAT himself, and Alexandra Hamilton. So what's the play here? You heard it on the Trash Puppy channel first. It's always to set a stop loss that's consistent with your tolerance profile. And remember, a 30% stop loss for a penny stock after a stock reversal is exponentially increase in terms of loss. So adjust your stop loss by the same percentages. If you don't believe in the company or this fibromyalgia drug because you think big opioids companies are paying off the FDA to stop the release of this drug, then go ahead and sell right now. If my house was burning, I wouldn't be arguing about if the house is burning. I would go swimming. Trash Puppy channel out.